My name is Taryn Peterson, and I was actually born in Mountain Home, Idaho. I grew up in Minnesota though, and I moved to the West Coast about 8 years ago, and I just love it. We brought the Vagina Monologues, or I brought the Vagina Monologues to Coeur d'Alene, February of 2010, 11? 10? 11. Yeah, because this is 12. So 2011, with 15 of the most amazing women I've ever met in my life. We were sitting at Junk to Funk, my friends Andy and Mandy and I said, gosh, we were talking about the Vagina Monologues, somehow it came up, and I said, this would be an amazing place to do it. And both of them looked at me and said, well then do it. And that's all it took. Doing this project, I took all of these little groups of women together, and we actually just had the reunion dinner Thursday. And it was amazing, the friendships and the bonds and the advocacy work that has come out of these people that didn't know they had it in them. It's unreal. And I didn't really realize that until we all sat down together again a year later and talked about it. And people talked about how it was such an inspiration to them, and to get involved and to become aware and just step outside of themselves for a change. And that was huge. I didn't really realize I had that impact on the situation around people. Just far too many women, and not even just women, but humans being abused, whether it's verbally or sexually or physically, or it's just like the kindness. I feel like, and I work in technology, so this is a hard thing to say, but I feel like with the influx of technology, our kindness is starting to slip away. And because of that, we become so desensitized to things like this, to anything really. I mean, to people asking for money on the streets, to, anything. We just become desensitized. And for me, this was a way to get that out there, to create that awareness and bring it to the forefront of people's minds so that we're just not quite as desensitized to it. I think Coeur d'Alene has a lot of growing to do in terms of violence against humanity, I guess I can say, because I think that the North Idaho Violence Prevention Center has done a magnificent thing, changing their name and their focus from the Women's Center to North Idaho Violence Prevention Center, because it's not just a woman's issue, it's a human issue, and there are a lot of men that report abuse and little boys, and it's terrifying, quite actually. Not even just from the physical abuse and what happens and gets reported and is in the hospitals and the police reports, but just the verbal abuse. And we have some of the anti-Semitic stuff happening, and there's all of these influences that I feel like there's just not enough awareness out there. I think that, in my opinion, education is key, and without awareness you have nothing. And I think so often we blind ourselves to what's going on. If it's not happening to us directly, a lot of times we don't care about it. And for me, this is an issue that I think is too important not to care about.